Alright everyone, I'm Ryers and welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. Let's keep going. Alright, let's go and talk to Joshua here. See what's got him down. Probably the crystal back there.
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it. It won't be easy. It may take generations. Centuries of suffering. And that is if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
We've managed to survive in the Deadlands for
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
over 5 years.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. Are you certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
Oh, by losing control, yeah.
But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
Right.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to. Does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
Take as much time as you need, brother. Something tells me Ultima will wait.
Say your farewells, and let us be gone.
Okay, before I talk to Jill, I want to check up on all the new stuff around here.
Unless you've taught our chocobos how to fly, I won't be scouting this one for you, Clive. You're on your own, but not alone.
If there's anything special you fancy supping on before you go, I'd be glad to make it for you. As long as it's brown.
Alright, something new in here. Indomitable. Alright. Let's go talk to...
The Crown Prince of Sanbreque. Though I suppose he's the Emperor now.
The Emperor? Here in our hideaway?
Don't mind him. I believe you.
Hello, Byron.
Believe me, Clive, I would fly with you to Origin, nay, to the end of the world. If I could. Alas, my fear of heights prevents me.
Of course. Alright, let's go talk to Tomes. This airship still has to be important at some point, right?
You're going somewhere, Sid? Can we come? I promise we'll be good.
It's a bit too dangerous for you guys there.
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts?
I did.
Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts
okay.
and summons. So that an ether...
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost.
So let's go on Joshua.
If I may observe.
Your brother is possessed of a rare gift. And I do not mean the flames of the Phoenix. Words, Clive. His findings on Ultima and the Circle of Malleus are worthy of the great Moss himself. Should he choose to devote himself to this path, I hazard he could one day become quite the historian. But not before you and he finish your own story.
History can wait.
After all, for that is what it does.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Alright, let's see if this will clear up a few things regarding the lore drop we had.
I believe you will find most interesting.
Bunch of new stuff. Okay.
What subject shall we consider today?
Alright, let's go through the list. Clive as Mythos. Alright. Joshua. His research into Ultima culminate in the revelation that the creature's true form is one and the same with Ifrit Risen. So Ultima's true form is the same, apparently. Right, and Sleipnir was an Eggy of Odin's, I suppose. Sir Terence. Yeah. Dion released Terence from his service, begging him to care for the orphan girl, Kihel. That those to whom he is indebted might be prepared for further danger. Is Eugen. Yeah, she should be here now somewhere. I wonder where she is. Okay, so Barnabas' mother was one of the few surviving descendants of the children of Zemeckis, who fled from Valisthea and took refuge in the outer continent, only returning generations later. She and her clan were devout believers in the circle of Malleus, whose teachings she instilled in her son. Okay. And then Moss the Chronicler. Ultima. A race of ancient godlike beings. It was their creation of magic that led to the rise and spread of the Blight. Few survivors of the race fleeing to the unspoiled land of Valisthea to attempt to remake the world. For this, they created the Mother Crystals to harvest huge amounts of ether, and sowed the seeds of humanity that it might one day produce a vessel strong enough to channel it. The humans would one day develop wills of their own they did not foresee. Okay, so it sounds like humanity might have been born in Valisthea and then spread out across the world after that. Children of Zemeckis, I don't know. There's probably more to that. Alright, so Valisthea. Countless eons ago, Ultima arrived here, fleeing the blight that devoured his own homeland, and resolved to rebuild the world and usher in the new and final age of pure reason. It was he who placed Mother Crystals in each corner of the land. They must harvest the ether. Let's see. A vast circular cavity is here. The Mother Crystal of Zemeckis once stood. Okay. In the Age of the Fallen, man, hoping to claim the power of the gods, laid siege to the crystal in an attempt to gain entry to its ether-rich heart. Rather than attempt to fend off the assault, he instead responded by destroying the Mother Crystal and its heart. The great creator left behind standing as a reminder of man's hubris. Okay. So there was originally a Mother Crystal there that got destroyed in the Age of the Fallen. Okay. So yeah, Ultima was before the Fallen then. The Fallen were just men. Hall of Drake's Spine. I'm still not quite sure how we destroyed the crystal when we were in the rift. Okay, so yeah, Reverie was also one of the same spires. I'm guessing that that Twinside was, or I guess Origin was. Ancient construct to rise from beneath the city. The continent, yeah. Few have been known to brave the journey there and back. For which reason the character and customs remain a mystery to most. Legends claim that the remnants of the fallen fled there from the twins when their civilization collapsed. But we don't know what happened to them after that. Okay. Drake's Horn was in Southern Ash. Okay, so there were a lot more mother crystals than just 5 or 6. Okay. Circle of Malleus. Its beliefs were originally drawn from the murals left behind by the people who lived near the mother crystal, Zemeckis. Well, at one point it was faith, followed, okay. War of the Magi. War waged near the end of the Age of the Fallen, which mankind, fielding clockwork armies fueled by magics, fought for control of the mother crystals. This just drained even more and gave rise to the Blight. Yeah, okay, and then 1,000 years later, and here we are now. There's the rift. Yes, somehow our victory over Ultima destroyed the Mother Crystal. And then there's Origin. It eerily resembles a Mother Crystal, yeah. So the Mother Crystals planted to leach the ether. A supremely powerful spell that would remake the world. Okay. Okay. Comes into cost the crystal's curse. For this reason, Ultima's incorporeal form prevents him from casting the spell, which he means to remake the world, so he needs the vessel. Right. Okay. Great beasts. Echoes. Interesting. Though widely assumed to be vestiges of the fallen civilization, it seems they're in fact originally servants of Ultima, created by him in a time lost to memory. Since Ultima's reawakening, they have been guided by his will and his will alone. Basically the same as these, just covered in this ceramic. There's Logos, where Ultima uses mythos to describe the vessel. Oh, that's a typo there. He's weighted. One into which he can pour his soul and cast a supreme spell. Logos indicates its blasphemed form, a vessel over which the will of another has complete claim, a making of itself a false god. And there's Sin, the awakening of free will. Yeah, if Ultima has his own free will, then wouldn't he have Sin as well? Especially if he created the humanity. The new world. The Arche. Ifrit Risen. Yeah, so Barnabas was the first and only Odin. There's the infernal icon. Form long since discarded by Ultima. Interdimensional Ultima. Yeah, clad in the remnants of his flesh. Alright, well that's all the new stuff there.
You are always welcome, Clive.
I did clear up quite a few things. Alright, so we have redstone, that. Okay. This is probably just the a new dungeon. Is it still flashing? No. Okay.
Clive. Going purse weighing you down?
That's a new sword there.
Is that all?
Do you have anything new?
Trouble with your gear, or
Let's ask about Dravaged.
the sound of ringing still?
Has filled the streets of Dravaged since back before anyone can remember. And there's not a smith worth his soul who didn't apprentice under one of the village masters. Me and Zoltan worked old Vulcan's foundry until our lungs burned and our skin turned black. But we were happy.
So we weren't.
Things change. People change. And we can either change with them, or we can stay stuck in the past. Me and my old mate, we've chosen to put our past behind us so that Dravage can have a future. A future where young smiths can be proud of work done well and work done right. And just like here.
Who knows?
Maybe someday my apprentice will be someone else's master, and work them just as hard as I do him.
What's that for you, dear?
Alright, so we could make the Defender +1, which is better than what we have. So I might as well.
It'd last you a good while.
Circle of Heaven +1, sure.
No scratches, right?
And sun bracelets.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
And then, okay, we can't upgrade it, we need more clutch mine for that. this we can upgrade.
Yeah, that should do you.
And these as well.
You can thank me later. And?
Okay. Alright, so... Okay, the redstone still has the circle on it. Alright, let's check our room.
I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastport, but as soon as the rebuilding work is complete, I promise to return.
A new life from Gav. Okay, he's headed back to the Shadow Coast where Mid was waiting with the Enterprise. She opened up a bit. I do want to find where she is. I still have like half of those to get. Hey Jill. Okay, I'll talk to you in a bit. Where is Edda? If I had to guess, she's probably in like the bunks.
From diverse hands a dawn is spun in crimson sin unfurls.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That'd mean the crystal is...
massive. Aye.
Take as long as you need, Clive. Just don't take too long, eh?
Alright, Nectar. Did I ever tell you about the time I flew all the way to the bottom of Zemeckis Basin?
What did you find down there?
A deeper understanding, Kupo. From the outside, it seems so mysterious. Where does all the water go to, Kupo? Well, does it never fill up? What's behind the waterfalls? That was the question I flew in to find the answers, but instead I found something out about myself. I can't swim, Kupo. Okay. Alright, what's new here? Cobra Mouch, a rogue goblin around Aisla. That one's dead already. You got Agni. You got the road through Halfcombe. And there's the Blood Moon. Another Echo. Okay. Yeah, there's no location on this one still. Except for the Rosarian Ruins. It's Quiet Sands, Rosaria, Sanbreck. The Woodland Passes of the Empire. Pandemonium. The Tricephalic Terror. Yeah, that's is it a Manticore or a Chimera? A Dragon, Lion, Scorpion. It sounds more like a Manticore. That's in the desert. Okay.
You nearly collapsed back there. It's just a touch of the vapors. I'll be fine.
Until the skies have cleared, more and more will fall to its curse. I will do what I can, but...
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Thank you, my lord, for taking me in. Everyone here has been so kind. It reminds me of home.
I'm glad to help. And there's Yote just looking over some stuff. I might as well go through. Let's talk to the Vivian first, but I want to go through all the other dialogue of people.
Clive. What is it that you wish to learn?
Yes, the realm has definitely changed.
I have the details here.
God? Question mark.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Alright, let's see what's new with just the other people around.
All this time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here, standing right beside me.
Who?
All this time, my heart has wandered hither and
Is it
thither
Otto?
in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here.
Easy for her making the journey from Ash. What with her belly so fat?
You'd be surprised at the lengths a mother is willing to go for her child.
Do you think Sid will tell us about his adventures in Ash?
I doubt it. I heard he's leaving again. Well, then maybe when he gets back.
When you return, would you mind teaching the children another lesson? They did so enjoy your last.
Hey, Mid.
You know, I'd give anything to follow you up there to that crystal. Give me a few more years and I might even be able to take you there myself.
That crystal certainly don't bode well. But just think of all the secrets it must hold. Here, if you're planning on going up there, you could bring a bit back for me, could you?
I'll see what I can do.
Do you suppose it's magic keeping the thing afloat?
What else could it be?
It's so vibrant down here.
A few more of these, and the Deadlands will seem less dead.
Yeah, so even if we do manage to defeat Ultima, we'll manage to survive without magic.
These flowers are beautiful. Pity we have to boil them all down to make medicine.
Without sun, these leaves should have withered long ago.
But we found a way. Life has found a way.
And it will continue to do so.
I'll see that you're properly watered and manured, Martel. For as long as I'm able.
You needn't worry about the backyard, Sid. We're here, so you don't have to be.
Alright, let's go talk to Jill.
I did it, Sid. I made friends with all the animals in the Hideaway. But you know what I'd really like? My own goblin. Or maybe a marble or a bomb. Only if it was a big one. That or a bander curl, but not a cactuar. They're too prickly.
I feel like those might be a little too dangerous for having as a pet.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
That's what she said back,
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
Back when we were kids, yeah.
I'll be waiting.
this time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
Oh, looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7 quests here in the Hideaway. Alright, let's check the table here. 8 quests. Alright, looks like Torgal's not too happy.
What is it this time, Torgal?
And this one, in search of a lost tome from Vivian. Ancient texts, forbidden texts. One called From a Distance. Alright.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Alright, what else do we have here? Is it Byron? Looks like Gav has more dialogue.
You alright?
Ask about Origin.
About that.
If there's anything I can do to help you kill this Ultima bloke, you just say the word, eh? You could promise to take his name off my hands.
Aye.
Don't even joke about that. Anyway, I thought you said you hadn't finished with it yet. I did, didn't I? Now, if you wanted to give me an even grander title, something to rival your Sid the Outlaw, that'd be a different story.
Let's see.
Gav the Magnificent, Gav the Almighty, and Gav the Lionheart. Something along those lines. I'll leave that to you to decide. I'm sure you're more than capable of choosing the perfect moniker for Sid's right-hand man. Right-hand man, eh? I'll take it.
You off then?
Alright, Byron. More about Origin. You're set on this plan of yours, then? I am. You never were one to shy away from a fight. Some might say it runs in the family. Ha! Your father would be proud.
Thank you, Uncle.
I know he'll be with us up there.
As for down here...
You may take comfort to the knowledge that the realm will be in my capable hands until your return. Indeed. Alright, Three's company.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are 2 key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, We begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Yeah, might as well.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
All right. Out of curiosity, how many more quests are there? All right, so that's our objective, right? So we had 8 here in the Hideaway. That's 9, 10, actually no, 10, 11. Okay, honestly not as much as I was expecting. It's just most of them are just here at the Hideaway. Alright. Does Joshua have? Yeah, he does.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother.
Our last dance with Ultima awaits. Only the Founder knows what awaits us up there.
Indeed.
But whatever we find, we shall overcome it. It would not do to disappoint our friends. They all believe in you, Clive. They would follow you to the ends of the earth if they could.
You're wrong.
My friends don't follow me, they spur me on. I couldn't have made it this far without them. Nor without you, Joshua. You gave me your blessing and made me your shield. Without you, I don't know how I would have even survived. Even when we were apart, you were always with me. And I trust you'll be with me now until the end.
Of course.
Whenever that may be.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will. Or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but would you join me?
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Diane has multiple dialogues.
Must we away? My decision is made.
I should carry you and your brother to Origin. that the Lesage name might live on in honor, not in infamy. Even if I should not. Your Highness, you're not...
You said it yourself.
This is a journey from which I may not return, and yet I am resolved to go. Ultima took much from me, and he means to strip us all of what little we have left.
He must be stopped.
Or whatever the cost.
He must.
Thank you, Your Highness. You are as over-hasty as your brother. Save your thanks for when this is over.
I await your word.
Hello, Doris.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Right.
How long has it been since the jailers of Balmung abandoned their charges? Without food or water, they won't last long.
You've got something too?
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Cursebreakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
Who are we talking about?
So you happy to oversee the boys' test then?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Says he's been with us on our missions, but I don't know who that would be.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Alright, so that's that quest. Otto has some more dialogue.
If you've got something to ask, ask.
Trust you to go and pick a fight with a bleeding god. I didn't sign up for all this excitement, you know.
No.
Sid did say the higher-ups wouldn't be too happy about us trying to change the world. You've got me there. I need to decide if I have anything better to do. So no more lip at me. And it's that lip that keeps us on our toes, Otto.
Is that right?
Well, I'd better start looking for something else to moan about then, hadn't I? No one round here is bold enough or daft enough to say I'm fit for the knacker's yard, but I sure as hell ain't getting any younger.
Might be time to take a step back.
At the fledglings spread their wings, a young goat's as bright as the inside of a barrel, but his heart's in the right place, and its constant failure has never seemed to dim his spirits either. I reckon the same might have been said of me when I was his age.
But if it weren't for Sid,
Gave me the room to fail, or fall, and a hand to help me up again, I never would have changed. It had been the goats leading the goats, Clive. Assuming we would have made it this far.
I know you'll do right by us, Clive.
Speaking of goat,
Clive!
line up reports. Alright, so Enemy Management 2 is in Northreach. Land on the Sand 2, Duty Undying 2. Alright, there's the Lubor's continuation. Okay.
Always something in there.
And more over here. Is it just 2 more to grab?
What do you think happened to Miss Midadol? I heard she was kicked out of the university.
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes, but that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Midadol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
And when she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
Cloud?
In the
There you go.
clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stonear.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Midadol's inventions. Don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But who's gonna put Miss Midadol back together? She seems really sad.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
And last one is up top.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now, and I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
We're not going to Ash, yeah.
The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage. The Badbach Conservatory. Or rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured. every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous care. Cid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
You were a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Cid, please. Even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. But not for me. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace. Hidden in a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers guide you. The plains of Vida Grace have haunted my dreams since I escaped from the orphanage. I can't say I was looking forward to returning.
I think that's all the quests to pick up here. So let's go talk to Torgal. Down there. Okay. Oh, what's up, pup?
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
I wonder if he's thinking about home up
Sid,
north.
That's why.
Mm.
On the day brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want my iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Well, we're gonna take it off. Or not.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed.
You've grown accustomed to
You
it.
miss it as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
Let's see where he's going.
Say what you will.
Hello, Goots.
Oh, what is it?
I wish I could go up there with you. It doesn't seem right leaving everything up to you three.
It's hardly everything.
There's plenty that still needs to be done down here. Like seeing to our stores and keeping Karen safe. Only you can do that, Goots.
And I will. I promise.
I won't let Nan come to no harm, no matter what.
You can count on me.
Just like we're all counting on you to come back safe and sound. I will.
You take care now.
Oh, hi, Torgal.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Port Isolde, huh? Alright. It's probably going to be a long episode while I'm not sure if I'm going to do all of these side quests in this episode, but yeah, I've already been going for an hour, at least recording-wise. I would like to knock a good number of these out. There's Rosaria right there.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on.
Oh, where are we now? Just called Mist. Okay.
Race you there? I bet I could still beat you.
There's a good amount of ether here, unfortunately.
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps.
You are, Clive.
What is it, boy?
A sword?
This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword.
Oh, wow.
Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either.
I assume that's going up on our wall.
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming.
You're such a good dog.
After it.
You're a good doggo. Alright. What else have you got to show me?
I know where we're going.
That's a good vista of the castle. It is.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
That was nice. And charred sparring sword, yep. And Cabal's Fang increases Torgal's attack potency. Okay.
Sorry for the wait. We're ready.
And Joshua's in our party, right? Yeah, okay. Ooh, chest. And some thralls. Oh, I'm not gonna bother with these guys right now. Actually, they're low level. I might as well just blast them. Ow. Bye. Oh, he's not dead. Now he's dead. Alright, let's go talk to Vivian. Alright, Vivian. Oh, what's this about this book?
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated. Clive. Well, Clive?
Are you resolved to to brave the coming battle, no matter the cost?
I am.
Only with Ultima's death might we ever find true freedom. And when we do, I'll be counting on you to help teach this world the truth.
Naturally.
But I need you to do something for me in return. And come back to us in one piece. For how am I going to recount the true history of this world without a first-hand account of the heroics of those who fought to change it?
I shall...
We shall all be praying for your safe return.
Hippocrates knows of the tome I seek. Whether what he has to say makes you happy to have agreed to help me is another matter.
Alright.
Godspeed.
I do want to at least do one of these hunts in this video, but which one? Probably not any of the S ranks. The McGeth brothers, maybe. Lone rowing boat off of Port Isolde, Quiet Sands, and Rosaria. Can I view the map of this area here? Quiet Sands. So over here somewhere. Okay. Yeah, let's break to tomes.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Hippocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers.
Okay.
A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he, too, has turned. But, though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Alright. Let's head there now. There's Garnick.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
Anybody home? Let's look at the chest first.
This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks? His interests were certainly varied.
The Moogle. No dialogue on that one, Clive? Oh, there it is, from a distance. Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bearers. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those of the gift came to be commonly known is most likely a contraction of bearer of the heavenly blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born of the blessing were allotted as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The diverse nations of... is it diverse or divers? I don't know. Were unanimous with their disapproval of the founding of the church. All the authorities had for years welcomed the bearers into positions of power and their own structures of state. They were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up the meeting by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for 9 generations and decimated the population of men and bearers both. The deluge of blood. It stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valisthian people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valisthea came together to sign the Continental Accord. That initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. It's a well-known phrase, bearers are other than human, has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed's only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies. So yeah, the bearers were revered at first, and then they formed their own religion, and then there was conflict, and then war that ended with them being enslaved. Okay.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the Hideaway.
That was one of the big questions I had about the lore of this world was what happened with the Continental Accord, and why were bearers treated so poorly.
Leaving so soon, stranger?
Mm-mm.
We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book.
No.
Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
I'd like to see you try. I don't think you have any idea of who you're actually messing with here.
Let's see, shall we?
Wrong sword. There we go. Ooh, more clutch mine. I think it's the first time I've actually been kind of excited to get the crafting material. Just because I know I need that to upgrade my sword.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass.
So why are you trying to erase it then?
Of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait.
And he's gone.
Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Now let's go back.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
No mention is made as the name of the author.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I fear the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the Hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
All right. Scholar's Bonnet. Wait, what? A new quest is available nearby? Oh boy. There's more at the reading table. Okay. Alright. First though, I'm going to go to Port Isolde and head to the Quiet Sands to try to take out this hunt. There they are.
Be safe.
The Megeth brothers.
Darken our shores again. But not for long.
Too late. Ooh, nice try. Oh, okay. That hurt. Can I hit multiple? I can't tell. Goodbye. Right, that one wasn't too bad. And we're at 2,000 renown now.
No more vengeance. No more war.
Alright, well, I'm gonna leave this episode here for now. Next time we'll take on more of these side quests, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.